Hey guys, welcome back. Now, crazy isn't the best adjective to be using to describe somebody, but if you need to describe somebody as being a little bit crazy, there are other phrases, other words you could use instead of always saying crazy in English. In this video lesson, you will learn other ways to describe people as being crazy in English. Now, if this is the first time that you're here on my YouTube channel, welcome. My name's Adriana from EnglishTeacherAdriana.com. I help English learners improve their English, boost their confidence to finally speak English confidently. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on notifications so you know you get that bell when I post my next video lesson here to help you improve your English. Guys, in this lesson there will be many new phrases, many new words you could use to better describe somebody as being crazy in English. Now, a lot of them may not be nice, guys, but you will hear these phrases, these words being used in everyday conversations, in movies and TV shows, so it is good to understand how they're used, and you could also possibly use them when describing people in English. To help you remember and use these new phrases and words, I suggest that you use a shadowing technique while you're watching this lesson. So when you hear a new phrase, a new expression, shadow, repeat out loud at the same time as me to help you remember, and most importantly, use these phrases when speaking in English. Go and find yourself a quiet corner and let's begin with the first phrase. Now, the phrase somebody is not there is a great phrase to be using in a really formal setting. So it's a really proper way to describe that somebody is maybe a little bit crazy or abnormal. For example, Mary doesn't look okay today. She's not acting normally. She's not all there. Careful pronunciation, not all there. Not all there. There. Not all there. Now, less formal phrase is a phrase somebody off their trolley. For example, if I'd like to describe that Mary is a crazy person, instead of saying this, I could use a phrase, she's off her trolley. She's off her trolley. Now guys, please note that this is slang. I personally don't use this phrase very often, but you will come across this in TV shows and movies. Basically, if you hear that somebody's saying he's off her trolley, or she's off their trolley, or they're off their trolley, basically it means that they're a little bit crazy. Careful pronunciation, she's off her trolley. Trolley, not trolley, she's off her trolley. Trolley. Now, also the phrase to be not right in the head. To be not right in the head is a more politer way of describing somebody as being crazy, if you can be polite in that regards. This is a great phrase to be using. For example, instead of saying Mary's crazy, I could express this in a politer way. Mary's not right in the head. Again, pronunciation, not right in the head. Not right in the head. Also, a very similar phrase is to have a screw loose. To have a screw loose. So imagine that you have some screws, nuts and bolts in your head, and if you feel that somebody is a little bit crazy because something's not right in their head, this is a great phrase to be using. For example, Mary's got a screw loose. Mary's got a screw loose. Please keep in mind that that is less formal than the previous phrase, but you will hear it being used in TV shows and movies. Also very similar is the phrase to be a basket case. To be a basket case, again, basically means that somebody is crazy. For example, Mary's a basket case. Mary's a basket case. Guys, personally, I don't use this phrase, but I do hear it being used in TV shows and movies. If you hear somebody describing somebody else or a group of people as being a basket case, basically it means that they're crazy. Careful pronunciation, to be a basket case. Basket case. To be a basket case. Now, in the situation that you know somebody that they're pretty normal, they're generally not a crazy person, but maybe that day they're a little bit crazy. Now, in this situation, you could use a phrase to be off their rocker. For example, Mary generally is quite normal, so she doesn't act crazy. Everything seems to be functioning okay with her. But for some reason today, she's off her rocker. She's off her rocker. So here, to be off her rocker is being used to describe the fact that she's a little bit crazy. Careful pronunciation, she's off her rocker. Rocker. Notice here the R's. Rocker. Rocker. She's off her rocker. Also, if you find yourself in a situation where somebody is generally normal, but for some reason they've just simply lost their way, so you can't understand why they're acting like that. Maybe you've decided on something, but they're just acting really crazy. In this situation, you could use the phrase to lose the plot. To lose the plot. This is a nicer way, a politer way of expressing that somebody's gone completely crazy. For example, Mary told us she'd come to work today, but she came in today and it appears she's lost the plot. She doesn't know where she is. Careful pronunciation, to lose the plot. To lose the plot. Now, in older TV shows and movies, you may hear people describing others as being a nutty fruitcake. A nutty fruitcake. Now, guys, this is a polite way, a proper way of describing somebody as being crazy. So, for example, Mary's a nutty fruitcake. Mary's a nutty fruitcake basically means that she's crazy. But a phrase more often used today is a phrase to be mentally disturbed. To be mentally disturbed. If you'd like to describe that something's not right mentally with somebody, you could use a phrase to be mentally disturbed. For example, I feel that Mary's a mentally disturbed person. Careful here, pronunciation. Disturbed. Disturbed. Mentally disturbed. Mentally disturbed. But if you'd like to describe somebody who's normal, they act normal, but they go crazy at times. They go really crazy because they're really angry. You could use a phrase to go nuts. To go nuts. For example, I go nuts when my husband touches my phone. So here I'm describing the fact that I go crazy, absolutely crazy when my husband touches my phone. Careful pronunciation, to go nuts. To go nuts. Also, similar phrase I could use here is to go insane. To go insane. For example, I go insane when my husband touches my phone. I go insane when my husband touches my phone. Careful pronunciation, insane. Insane. Now, if you'd like to describe that somebody is a little bit lost, so they're lost, but you can't understand why they're lost, and you feel that they're a little bit crazy, a nice way of expressing this could be using the phrase to be away with the fairies. To be away with the fairies. So this is a great phrase, again, when you see that somebody's there, but mentally they're not there. For example, Mary came into work today, but she was away with the fairies. Careful pronunciation, fairies. Don't roll the R. To be away with the fairies. To be away with the fairies. Now, when you're watching older movies and TV shows, you may hear the characters describing crazy people as being Mad Hatters. Mad Hatters. Now, guys, this is an interesting phrase. The hatters are people in the olden days who used to make hats. When they used to make hats, they used to use mercury. And if a person exposes themselves too long to mercury, it can cause them to go insane. So this is how that phrase came about, Mad Hatters, because maybe they spent too much time with mercury and it caused them to go insane. Anyway, that's just a general assumption. But you can hear this a lot in old TV shows and movies. Basically, if you hear somebody describing somebody as Mad Hatter, they're describing them as being crazy. Careful pronunciation, Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter. Hatter. Mad Hatter. You may also come across the phrase whackadoodle. Whackadoodle. I personally have never used this phrase, but I have heard it in TV shows and movies. This is a little bit of a goofy phrase, a little bit of a silly phrase, and it's a word we can use to describe somebody as being crazy. For example, Mary's a whackadoodle. Careful pronunciation, whackadoodle. Whackadoodle. A more commonly used phrase today among the youth and also in TV shows and movies is a phrase, a weirdo. A weirdo. This is used to describe somebody who's acting a little bit weird, maybe a little bit crazy. For example, Mary's a weirdo. She's walking on her hands. Careful here, pronunciation, weirdo. 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 Also the word freak. Freak, again used to describe somebody who's a little bit strange, a little bit crazy. For example, Mary's a freak. Careful pronunciation, freak. 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 Now, a politer phrase could be the phrase a fruitcake. A fruitcake. This is a really polite way of describing Mary as being crazy. Careful pronunciation, fruitcake. Fruitcake. Also, phrase whack job. Whack job is a really informal, it's a slang way of describing somebody as being really irrational, really crazy, a little bit insane. For example, Mary's a whack job. Again, pronunciation, whack job. Whack job. Mary's a whack job. Also very similar to whack job is a phrase nut job. Nut job. For example, Mary's a nut job, or as English speakers love to do, we like to shorten this one as well and just say Mary's a nut. Mary's a nut. Careful here, pronunciation, nut job, or nut. Nut. You may also hear the word nutter. Nutter. This is used a lot in TV shows and movies in really informal settings. Again, it simply means that somebody is crazy. Careful pronunciation, nutter. 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 A politer way of describing somebody as being a little bit strange, insane, maybe even crazy, is with the phrase odd duck. Odd. Now guys, you will hear this in a lot of older TV shows and movies. Odd is a synonym of the word strange. Odd duck is a little bit more politer and a formal way of describing somebody as being crazy. For example, Mary's an odd duck. So here, she's a little bit strange. She's abnormal, she's different. Careful pronunciation, odd duck. Odd duck. Notice connected speech. We don't say odd duck, odd duck. But a really informal, really direct word you could use is the word loony. Loony. Somebody's loony, they're basically crazy. For example, Mary's really loony today. She okay? Careful here, pronunciation, loony. Loony. Remember guys that practice makes perfect. Make sure to watch this video lesson a few times. Use and apply the shadowing technique. So while you hear me saying these phrases, these sentences, say them out loud at the same time as me to help you remember, and most importantly, use them when speaking in English. Let's take it one step further now by completing a homework task together. Watch this video lesson for a third time. Choose 5 new phrases or words you've learned in this video lesson and use them in a sentence in the comments below this video. Please be nice with your sentences, guys. We don't want to be calling each other crazy down in the comments, but it is good to know different variations of this word so you can better understand and also use them if you need to in the future. Remember guys, if you found this video lesson useful, please do let me know by smashing that like button. Like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so that you know you get that bell when I post my next video lesson here to help you improve your English. Continue learning with me by downloading my free audio guide where I share with you exactly what you need to be doing every single day to drastically improve your confidence speaking in English. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson. Bye for now.